We know what time it is. It is now May, so we are wrapping up April. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. I'm Vandy, and we are wrapping up April. So I'm gonna be going over the books that I've read, the shows that I've watched, and give some overall reflections of April. So grab a drink, get cozy, and let's get into it. I have my book journal and my notes so I can go over what happened this month. So starting off with books, I actually read more books this month than I have for the past couple months. Usually the past couple months I've only read 4 books, but I read 6 books this month. Can I get a round of applause, please? I read 6 books this month, and I think it's because I haven't necessarily took any breaks between the books that I've read, but I did feel like I was a little bit slower because I feel like when I'm reading books, if the book is good, I'll speed right through, but if the book is okay, then I feel like I tend to be slower when finishing the book, if that makes sense. Let me know if you guys are the same way. But as per usual, I'm going to go through the books in chronological order. So let me open up my book journal and we can get started. First book is Attempting Arrangement by J. Wilder. And this is one of the books that I allowed Pinterest to pick for me. And let's see. This is about this is kind of like a dark billionaire romance between an owner of a hockey team and his PR strategist assistant type woman who is actually on an H-1B visa, and she is, I guess, convinced to marry her boss because he is obsessed with her and he wants to marry her, but she likes him, but she doesn't feel like she was ready for a relationship because of her past relationship and the situation that she was in her past, so it kind of affected her. But this is a dark billionaire romance. It does give off mafia vibes. There is a secret society, and let's see. She is a fashion enthusiast, and yeah, I really enjoyed this book. I felt like it flowed really well. I didn't feel like it was choppy or anything like that. So I really enjoyed this one. Definitely spicy. So fair warning. And yeah, but overall, I really like this book. Up next is The Brightest Light of Sunshine by Lisina Coney. Hopefully I'm pronouncing everybody's names correctly. If not, I'm so sorry. But this was another Pinterest book, and this is going over a college student who is an aspiring author and a ballerina teacher as well, and a tattoo artist who owns his own shop. And he has a little sister that is in our main female lead's ballet class, and it was actually really good. It was cute, but it did go into some deep topics because our female lead did go through some past trauma as well. I think in her last relationship or something happened at a college party to where it affects her of meeting new people, mainly guys, but it was good. I felt like it really did match what the collage went over, but other than that, I felt like it was smooth, and then I felt like towards the end it kind of got a little bit jumpy, but overall it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Next is Things to Look Forward to by Sophie Blackall, and this is one of my non-fictions that I've read, and this is just going over the big and small things to look forward to in life, living in the mundane, it can get sometimes repetitive and sometimes boring, but sometimes the little things can, you know, spark some joy. And this book was actually really cute because it showed like the author's illustrations as well, and some of the things that really stood out to me was like baking something for a friend, baking something for yourself, looking at the moon, just going outside and touching some grass. Like, these are small moments, but we can appreciate the small moment. So it was a good pick-me-up, and I really enjoyed it. Up next is Handsome Devil by L.J. Shen. I felt like at the time when I read this book, it was the closest thing that I guess got to mafia romance, but it's not mafia romance. It's definitely a dark romance, but I feel like this was mafia adjacent because the main guy, he was not in the mafia, but he had friends, or he knew people that were in the mafia that he had in his back pocket. So we were following Tate, I think that's his name, and Gia, and Tate is a billionaire, but Gia is his personal assistant, and Gia's mother had early onset dementia, and she wanted to put her mother in this program, but it cost a lot, and there was like a wait list, and her mom wasn't, you know, able to be on the wait list. So Tate was like, I'll help you if you marry me. And Gia is stuck in the bind, but she really wants to help her mother, so she agrees. And Tate took it upon himself to get, you know, involved some unorthodox ways of getting her mother into the program. But so this is definitely a dark romance, definitely marriage of convenience, definitely a lot of OCD representation, because I think Tate has OCD and past trauma as well, so we have those representations. And yeah, I think overall the book was okay. I felt like there was like something missing or something. Like it was fine, but I felt like there could have been more, but I'm just not sure. And looking at the Goodreads reviews, I noticed that other people felt the same way. Like, it was just like, okay. But I don't know. If you read this book, let me know your thoughts as well. And fifth book is Bellini Born by Siena Trapp. This was another Pinterest read, and this one I can actually say this is actually mafia romance, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. And let me just say this. I am so good at the collage, because what did I say? What did I say about this book? I said that it has to be like a nanny or something, and it's his kids, because I was just like so good. And then the baking things, your girl's good. But this was another Pinterest Picks My Reads book, and this is a mafia romance. We are following, apparently I am forgetting these people's names. I think his name is like Mateo or something like that. So we're following Mateo, and he was like part of his like mafia organization, but at first he was just doing like the legal side of things with the real estate and stuff like that. But his brother needed to do something, and now Mateo is in charge of the mafia. And during that time there was an incident, and now he is a widow, and he's trying to figure out the limbo of juggling mafia world and his two kids. And during his daughter's birthday party, something tragic happened, and the lifeguard saves his child, and that is how the two main characters meet. I think her name is like Sophie or something like that. I honestly don't remember, so we'll just name her Sophie. But our main lead, Sophie, and him meet. She is a lifeguard, but apparently her roommate was supposed to do the lifeguarding, but she went out partying and was sick, so Sophie took over. So she saved his daughter's life, and I guess to Mateo, like, he felt like he owed a debt. He owed a debt because, you know, saving his daughter's life, that's like the best thing that a person can do. So he paid off her student loans, and she was like, no, I'm an independent woman. But then she met the kids and they just meshed really well, so she is now the nanny, so they can be even. So it is a mafia romance. It is a, I guess, nanny and boss trope. We do have some, how should I put this, like incidents, accidents, missions, I should say. So yeah, you know, everything that ties in with the mafia. I felt like it was kind of jumpy though, like the cuts and stuff, especially towards the end. I felt like it was really jumpy. I feel like there could have been more of a smooth transition between, I guess, timelines, I guess, but who knows? I'm not an author. I'm not trying to be an author, so I know nothing, so who knows? But yeah, but overall it was good. I had a great time reading it, so that's all that matters. But last but not least, last book is my, I guess, main nonfiction for the month, and that is Fear is My Homeboy by Judi Holler. And I did mention this in my last video of nonfictions I want to buy, and this was actually a really great self-help book. And I, as mentioned in the last video, I feel like I'm a huge scaredy cat, and I'm trying to not be as much of a scaredy cat, but I feel like this really helps because fear is never gonna go away. But how can I make fear into something that I can achieve more of my goals and just use it to propel myself? So I feel like this really shows ways that I could, I don't know, just make fear my homeboy and just do it scared. I feel like this is a perfect example of me making fear my homeboy. I am posting videos, I'm doing things that scare me, but I feel like I am propelling myself in the direction that I want to go in. So, and just see what happens. But I feel like there are, in the book, it actually shows very applicable ways that I could just strive for more of my goals and actually use fear for my benefit, because I don't know, I have a tendency of letting fear hold me back and procrastinate when I have all these goals and aspirations that I want to reach. So I feel like this was actually a really great self-help book when it comes to fear. So yeah, but those are all the books that I've read for April. Let me know if you guys read the same books or what books you guys read for the month of April as well. So let me know. But on to shows. And let me tell you, I watched a lot of shows this month. I watched 8 shows. I watched like 6 C-dramas and 2 K-dramas. So I think I'm just gonna speed round what I watched and not really go into detail. But watch me go into detail because I can yap. We both know I can yap. So we'll see what happens. But let's go into the shows. First up is Legend of the Female General. This C-drama was so good. I love the dynamic between the two love interests. It was just so good. And I think I watched this right directly after watching Pursuit of Jade. And that was such a great decision on my part. So good. I feel like I really enjoyed watching our female lead go from being disguised as her brother and then being betrayed by her brother and switching places. So now she's back into, she doesn't have to hide the fact that she is a girl. Well, not necessarily, but she really wants to get her military rankings back up, but in her name rather than her brother's name. So it was really great to see that, and also get back in connection with her friend when she was pretending to be her brother. So that was so good, and I had so many laughs within that as well. And up next is Blossom. This is by the same director that did Pursuit of Jade, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. Okay. It was so good. And the costumes, the characters, I think the characters in all of them were just so good. But this is also kind of like a redemption arc for both of our main leads. They were wronged in their first life, and during like when they were dying or something like that, they went back into the past as like their childlike and grew up again, but with the knowledge of what happened in their past. So now they kind of get to do like a redo of their life and be together. I really enjoyed this one. Now, do I prefer Pursuit of Jade over Blossom? Not gonna lie, kind of. Plot wise, I feel like I prefer Pursuit of Jade. But if you watch the two, let me know which one do you prefer more. And up next is the K2, and this K-drama is like it has mafia vibes, but it's more like a bodyguard and senators or sitting congressman's daughter. And this one had so much family drama. So it had so many, like, the family vengeance in these dramas are insane. But I felt like this K-drama was okay, especially towards the ending. I felt like I wish I could have seen more, but I did love the action part of it. I did love yeah, pretty much the action parts of it. I feel like this was more of an action drama rather than like a romantic one, if that makes sense. So up next is Love Between Fairy and Devil. I finally watched the C-drama, and it was so good. It was so cute. It was fun to watch our main female lead go from a little plant spirit that really couldn't cultivate her magic and definitely be something that she, I guess, but she, there was more to her, there was more to her than what the eye could see. There was more to her magic and stuff like that. But this drama was so good. It was so funny. I love the dynamic between the fairy and the devil. And, well, he's not really a devil. He was actually really nice. And, you know, had some past traumas. And he wanted to get revenge. Like, it made sense. It was all valid. So, but it was so good. I actually really enjoyed it. So, I had many laughs and goals. But yeah. But next is Undercover Miss Hong. This K-drama, this K-drama actually takes you back into the 90s, like the radios, the cassette tapes, and stuff like that. This is actually dealing with, I guess, like corporate financial, like slush funds investigation. So Ms. Hong is undercover as a staff at one of the like big companies, because she finds out that there's slush funds happening at this one company, and she wants to essentially bring justice. And when I tell you, so many laughs, so many giggles with this one, the adventures and the situations that they end up in. I actually really enjoyed this. Now, do I feel like this drama should have been 16 episodes? Honestly, not really. I feel like it really picked up in the last half of the season, but I feel like it was kind of slow in the beginning, but it's just me. Up next is When Destiny Brings the Demon. This C-drama was... I honestly felt like this C-drama was C-trauma. Because what was the ending? Huh? What was the ending? They were all lovey-dovey in the beginning, and then towards the end, they go back... She goes back into, like, the reality, and then she meets up with him, and it just ends there. Like, we don't see no loving. Like, how, what is this, huh? It was so good, and then the ending wrecked me. It was good in the beginning, and then it went left in the middle, and then it continued to go left, and then it went right, and then it went left, and then somewhat right. What is this? But I had a great time watching it. But still. Up next is Turbulent Love. And all I have to say is, what did I watch? Huh? What did I watch? Because this is a more mafia... I think this is like the first mafia C-drama I've watched. And it was so chaotic. I don't know what else to say other than that. It's chaotic. And then this is trauma as well, because there's no happy ending. So I don't know what else to say other than what did I watch, and pure chaos. So, and then last but not least is Fight for Love, and this was actually really good. I love that the main female lead was very independent, strong. Like, she didn't just, I don't know, like fall in line, I should say, in order to like save her family's reputation, because I think her father died like in a battle, and then he got blamed on it, and it put shame on her family. So she was investigating what happened, and she wanted to solve that as well, and just I guess bring back her family reputation back in good standing. And at first I thought that she was gonna end up with the first brother, and then like his family went into battle because they were told to fight these people, and it was a plot to set them up, and all brothers and the dad end up dying, but the youngest. So I thought that she was gonna end up with the older brother, but obviously that didn't happen. So she now has to team up with the youngest brother to help solve who set up her family and now who set up his family as well. And in doing that, they fall in love. And it was actually really good and kind of sweet. And I have so many laughs, as with other dramas, per usual. I be kicking it up. But those were all the shows that I've watched. Let me know if we watch the same ones. Let me know what shows you would recommend me to watch, and maybe I can watch it and maybe we can chat about it. We have to see. But on to reflections. I feel like time is going by so fast, and I blinked twice and it's the end of the year. That's how I feel like time is just going by so fast. Ooh, the first thing is I actually started filming Cozy Conversations. Did I post it yet? As of this time? No. But have I started filming? Yes. Yes, I have. And listen, I can actually say that I started Cozy Conversations. So, I'm excited. And let's see. I feel like another thing is that I feel like I am having a hard time filming videos. I feel like I just don't know what to film because I feel like I'm boring and I'm not cool enough. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, and at the same time I really don't know what I'm doing. I just feel like I'm just sitting here yapping, but I really just want to have a conversation with you guys. And yeah, but hopefully, you know, as I said before, I mean, I'm keeping on doing it, even though I'm scared and I feel like I'm a loser. So, I mean, it's fine, but hopefully I can actually start doing the things that are coming up in my head. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you know, it is what it is. Essentially, first and foremost, I'm doing this YouTube video thing for myself, because not only to prove myself that I can actually do it, but also to look back to see the things that I possibly could accomplish. So, I don't know. First and foremost, I'm just doing this for myself and to make myself happy and stuff like that. So, But I feel like, and also with that of not really knowing much, I feel like I am watching and learning more about editing and stuff like that. So hopefully I can, you know, make the videos better, but also learn new skills. Like, video editing is time consuming and definitely takes a lot of skills. So hopefully I can build that skill set and make some really cool videos. But who knows? Also, I kind of gave up on the cooking from cookbooks this month. I have not cooked from a cookbook in a good bit, but I feel like I have been like cooking like some of like my staples. So I'm not sure. I feel like I haven't been finding like great cookbooks. If you know of any great cookbooks that you enjoy, leave them down in the comments, because maybe I can try them and see if I find something that I would enjoy and stuff like that. That would be cool. But I feel like overall this month was okay, but hopefully May would be a little bit better. And as I'm filming this, today is May 1st, and literally tomorrow is my birthday. And I also feel like I've been doing a lot of reflecting this past month, and especially this past week, because my birthday is tomorrow and I'm honestly not that excited. I feel like the last couple years I have been having the birthday blues. So yeah, hopefully May is a little bit better but I feel like the starting off point is just eh. but overall, April was okay, but hopefully May is a little bit better. But I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you for hanging out with me as I reflect over April's book shows and reflections. Let me know how your April was, and do you have any goals for next month? And definitely share. And until next time, my friends, stay curious, stay cozy, stay reading. Bye, guys.